as you know it, weekends offer no fuss, easy, summer-loving vibes, and so should your breakfast be. Our Clover Fresh Milk Raspberry and Apple Smoothie is the perfect balance of moo fresh flavors and is ideal for when you are on the go. Balisa, I think I'm speaking to you this time because you are a smoothie girl through and through. It's not just for breakfast, it's not just for lunch, it's all day.
I'm an all-day type of smoothie girl. I love smoothies because, you know, sometimes sitting down and having a proper meal is a luxury, especially doing what we do. So you gotta have something on the go, but something filling as well. So I'm all about the smoothie. But I've never tried an apple and berry smoothie.
I know, right? We're all about putting people on. We're all about balancing those flavors. We're all about getting all the nutrition you need. After all, it is a smoothie, so it replaces somewhat of a meal. So to start it off, I would like you to just core those apples. Do not remove the skin. All the nutrition is in that skin, so we don't want it removed. So just core it. If you don't have a core of South Africa, you can just use a knife and just make sure you cut out the sides off the seeds and the core. Chuck that out, or you can even just use that for a apple crumble, apple whatever. It's completely up to you. But right now, we focus on the actual apple. Once you've done that, chop it up into a little, some small pieces, and I'll get started with the rest of our smoothie, the raspberry part. So what I've got here is some oats. You can use rolled oats, you can use just normal oats. You could even use any other grain that you've got in the house. Like you could use another type of cereal if you'd like. Even bran flakes would work. Even any other cereal you have, just to, you know, replace that filling part of the meal, of the smoothie, basically.
Absolutely.
So, and I go in with a bit of honey in there. Obviously, if you want it sweeter, you add more honey. If you want less sweetness, you could even omit the honey altogether.
Yeah.
All right, and then to thicken it and to give it the body, we're adding some double thick yogurt. You can add, subtract, like we're saying, it's completely up to you, but we also want to make sure we're building up on that calcium because our Clover Fresh Milk is a source of so many vitamins and minerals, and it also works perfectly here to make sure that we get that additional calcium that we need in our diet.
So, Domi, when you were talking about the filling nature, using those oats within the smoothie, sometimes I also like to think nuts. Why not try nuts? But I never know what's right and what's wrong. I love myself some cashews, but then I know almond nuts also work quite nicely in smoothies. So what is the ideal nuts or kind of different variants other than oats that we can add?
You could use, you've actually hit the nail on the head again with the two nuts you've mentioned, cashew nuts or almonds. Most nuts, or all nuts, are basically high in natural oil, so that's perfect. You could use any of those. You could even use macadamia nuts, depending on whether you want a pungent flavor, a very strong flavor, or if you want it very mild.
So macadamia would be the more pungent, strong, nutty flavor, no?
Funny enough, I find that macadamians are they're more mellow in flavor. Very, very creamy, but not so much the flavor pungentness. I know the cashew nuts and almonds are very high in flavor. So you could add those. Even pecan nuts, like any nut that you'd like. If you wanted more on the peanutty flavor, you could also use peanut. It's completely up to you.
Love it.
But because we're using our Clover Fresh Milk, which stays fresh for up to 18 days, you've got the luck that you could even make this and freeze it and even have a fruit pop if you want, and have that as a fruit pop instead of a smoothie. That's how versatile this recipe is. So once you've done chopping up your apples in there, I'm going to add it to this amazing smoothie. And the other thing I love about this is that we're using frozen berries. So you could even freeze all the fruits you want to use. We've used fresh apples now, but you could freeze all the fruits you want to use in the smoothie. If you choose to go for perhaps additional flavors, maybe you want to add more fruits to this, you could do that. The only thing I'm going to add at the end here is just some lemon juice for that bit of tang at the end, you know.
Beautiful, beautiful. And also because a lot of people are immune boosting right now, that is what is the buzzword, and that's what every South African's responsibility is to do as well. How then are we able to balance and level up when it comes to those good health foods? I know a lot of people like turmeric in their smoothies. A lot of people also like adding ginger and that garlic. I don't know about adding garlic to a breakfast smoothie, but how else can we kind of mix it up?
You can. Basically, we've got additions that you can put in, like chia seeds, flax seeds. It's completely up to you. You could add sunflower seeds. You can add all these natural elements, you know. So many times people want to add artificial stuff into the food, and I think keep it natural. Keep it natural, keep it healthy, keep it simple. And I'm going to keep it pushing by blending our smoothie over here. And that's basically it, all right?
And I love the fact that you've chosen berries. I know berries are also quite good for that stubborn belly fat. You know, feed apparently a handful of berries and some nuts every morning, you're good to go. So I'm looking forward to trying this. And of course, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So cheers to that, Dumi.
You hit it right on the head, Palisa. Now that's one way to have your apple a day. So head over to afternoonexpress.co.za for the full recipe and ingredient list.
I'll go. Lawana, you say.
Oh, he's back.
Move way.
Clover Fresh Milk.
Made with love by Clover.